And on top of that, take a wild guess, please. We have 130 here. Guess what the age is? The custody goes to default to parent over, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. The custody of a child, if there's a divorce, the custody of a child automatically goes to a father after a specific age. Does anyone want to take a guess of what that age is? Take a guess. Let me know what the guess how old a kid is. 12. Colleen said 12. How old is a kid when their defaulted parent, when they're, oh my gosh, I really can't talk. When the custody goes defaulted to a dad. 1. It's a little bit older. 7. So a 7-year-old girl. 7, you're exactly right. 7. At 7 years of age, their court's like, kids don't need their mother anymore. Father can do it. What? Like 17 is a better age, right? We talked about it, but I just want you to reiterate this. A woman cannot travel. She can't even get her passport without her husband's permission. There's a system now where when the woman gets her passport that the husband could opt in. Have an official notarized letter from their husband on saying that they were able to travel. But women aren't oppressed in Iran. It's just the hijab. It's just, listen, you know what the issue is? Women want to dress in these skanky little mini skirts and not wear their hijabs. That's why that's why the women in Iran are upset. It has nothing to do with the fact that they get half of the inheritance by default of a man. And that they can't travel, they can't divorce, then they don't get to keep their kids if they get divorced. And mind you, the husband's allowed to marry however many women he wants. But the woman can't divorce. So we don't have a women right issue. We don't have a women right issue at all. It's just like that in America. What's up, Sierra? Liar. Cormar, come and talk to me. I'm inviting you. Come and talk to me. Women can divorce. Come and talk to me. Yeah. Okay. Case in point. Okay, 4Ps, thank you. Liar. Have you spent any time whatsoever there telling followers about the good things in Iran? Free. I feel like we spoke. Yes, I spent a lot of time in Iran. I've been there 16, 17 times. Spent well over 3.5 years of my life there. Half of my family's there. My aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. My stepmother's there. I feel like we've talked about this though, buddy. And here, evil regime. Evil, like, oppressively evil for no reason, right? But, okay, here's what I hate. I'm welcome. I'm sorry, but I think it's important because these people, I really want to focus on women's rights today. And I'm going to get to the story of Mahsa Amini. It's real quick. If you already heard it, bear with me. Young Mahsa Amini was a 22-year-old Kurdish girl. She came to Tehran for a vacation. As she gets off the train, the morality police decide that they're going to give her a hard time. What does that mean? Well, if she had one piece of hair standing outside of her hijab, they have the right to bother you. The issue is that no one wears their hijab right inside of Iran, like 1% of the people. So what they do is they take this little thing and they go like this and they're like, yep, I'm wearing a hijab, and people for the most part leave you. So when you have a rule that lets you pick on anyone, it means that these morality police get to pick on whomever. And so they pinpointed this pretty 22-year-old girl. Reports are that they take her and put her in this paddy wagon, which is normal. This isn't the report part. They for sure picked her up. They put her in this paddy wagon, and they take her to a re-education center to teach her how to wear her hijab. That's the goal. The issue is it gets really violent. Reports are that she was even raped. Not a lot of evidence on that. It gets really violent. 3 hours after she's there, she's found on video collapsing. They take her to a hospital. She's in a coma for 3 days, and then she's pronounced unalive. The Iranian government's like, yeah, she had heart condition. And the parents are saying, no. This was a young, healthy girl. This was our daughter. She was perfectly fine. UN sent someone to do a verification, and they deem that it's foul play. And the Iranian people are pissed. It starts Women, Life, Freedom Movement. This is in 2022. And because of that, the people were in the streets. The brave women were in the streets without wearing their hijab, saying F you to the government, enough's enough. And then what happened? Quite literally, they would send people. The IRGC would have people on top of buildings firing rounds inside the crowd. And this is in 2022, which is a fraction of what happened in 2026. Like 2%. So the women's rights is a real issue. We're just focusing on women today. We're not even talking about the LGBTQ, or we're not talking about different religions, or the corruption. IRGC does not, ICE does not if you don't like. Listen, ICE is not the IRGC. And there's been some horrible things that have happened along, guys. Sure. 1/45,000th of what happened to the Iranian people. It's not comparable. If your point is we have problems in the U.S., we do. But my whole point is the U.S. is an incredibly great place to live. Hence why there's so many. Listen, there wouldn't be illegals if the U.S. sucked. We would be leaving to go to other places illegally. How many Americans do you know are like, God, our country sucks so much, I'm leaving? Very few. Very few is the answer. Everyone jokes, I'm going to go to Canada. I don't know anyone who did.
Don't stop.
If someone doesn't have the allegiance to the United States, they need to leave. Thanks, Darlene. Things were improving for women in 2024, which is why Israel and Trump started trouble. I don't think that's accurate. If you're saying improving, I guess they were improving a little, but let's define improving. Improving was the morality police, which caused these issues, right? One of the factors of this. The morality police, especially the Massa, they loosened up a little, so they stopped bothering you inside of malls. They'll just bother you outside. That's the improvement. So you think the people are like, oh, great. The cloth piece, we're not being bothered about the cloth. Not about the child custody. Not about the passport travel. Not about half the inheritance. Not about going to the gym or going to a vacation. You cannot go on a family beach vacation inside Iran. That's improving. It's 2026. The internet is blocked, restricted. That's okay. There's bigger issues, Mr. Free. People come here illegally because other countries do not allow it. But I guess my point, Gentle, is if this place sucks so much, we wouldn't have that many illegals, right? Do you support the Israeli government and Bibi with what they're doing in Iran? 100%. I'm thanking them. Leave Iran alone. They just want weapons to protect themselves. Ed, they want weapons to use it against their own citizens. I don't know why I can't talk today. So leave Iran. You should, Ed, what you should be saying is, I'm going to reword this for you. Ed is saying, Iranian government, leave the Iranian people alone. I agree, Ed. That's a really smart thing to say. Very smart. Hey, M, thank you. So, her name was Massa. That's what I said. Thank you, Caleb. Her name was Massa. Massa Amini. I'm not the biggest fan of any government these days. Sadie, you don't have to be. As long as you can say like, oh wow, IRGC sucks, I'm cool. People come here legally because other countries do not allow it. Okay, I think I read that one. What's the IRGC? I'd like to know and understand. March, the IRGC is basically, inside Iran you have two militaries. And I think this is a really important update. Inside Iran you have two militaries. You have the national military, which is like border protection, things of that nature. Then, what they did, this was their real national military too. That's called the Artish. There's about 400,000 of them. In 1980, once this new regime came in, they're like, okay, now that we have power, the number one thing we have to do is not lose power. How do we do that? Well, let's make our own military that has one purpose: prevent a revolution. So to keep us in power. They are known as the IRGC. They call them Sepah in Iran, but it's the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Their sole purpose in life, March, is to make sure this regime stays in place. So anytime there's a protest, anything like that, these IRGC folks are the ones who, I can't even say folks, monsters, are the ones who are responsible for making sure that a regime doesn't change. And believe it or not, all of these drones and things are from the IRGC. Now, a huge update, the Artish, I can't talk, oh my gosh, the Artish is reported to have gotten their weapons seized. A lot of their weapons, firearms, etc. that they had have been taken from the IRGC, which adds a huge wrench in this puzzle because, historically speaking, a defection from the Artish is what caused the regime change. So now if the Artish isn't able to, I'm saying defection meaning that they would either declare neutrality or side with the opposition, without them having that, like if they're not powerful, then what's the benefit of it? Now we're really in trouble. The IRGC appears to be running the country already. It's not the supreme leader, did you guys see the report saying that there was a billboard saying the ones we lost and his name was on there, his picture was on there next to his father. So I don't think he's running it. I think the IRGC is running the country right now, and it's scary that the IRGC took the weapons from the Artish. March, I did a really poor job explaining that, but I hope you were able to get a couple nuggets from there. Okay. Hey, Rosie, welcome. Max Arvin. Thank you, Max. If the IRGC's only purpose is keeping down protesters, who's fighting Israel and Trump? Apparently you're right, Free. Maybe you didn't hear. They're the ones sending the drones. Because they see that, hey, you know what? U.S. and Israel is a threat to our regime. Especially Israel. Israel, I think, is more keen on getting regime change than U.S. But because of that, they've essentially declared war on that too. Okay. Hey, Pamela, welcome. Glory to Iran. Glory to Iranian people. Tom Hardy. That's what you meant to say. Do you think the Basijis would be considered the third arm of the military? Sierra, they're actually under the IRGC. So are they the third arm? No. They're definitely like a thing. So I guess I'm just being technical with it. But they are definitely a third force that should be reckoned with. And for those of you who don't know, the Basij are typically they're like, you know, like I don't want to say Freemasons because everyone thinks of like the Illuminati and stuff, but like social groups. So inside your church, you might have your Bible study group and things of that nature. Well, inside the mosque, they have these Basij things as well. And they're volunteers. There's a bunch of them, like 200,000 actives. And then there's 600,000 reserves, which means that they've gone through some training. And so basically, they take on the role underneath the IRGC to kind of be the foot on the ground soldiers. And I say that more so embedded in society. So it's very common to have a Basij if you're in college, in your classroom. One of them could be a professor. So they kind of embed themselves in the society and they wreak havoc. I've gone through many checkpoints. A lot of the checkpoints are from Basij. Again, I'm doing a really poor job explaining stuff today. So they are definitely a force. They're there because they want to be. They're volunteered. And they're typically a social circle related, whether it's from the church or from the school, or I said those two things already. So Sierra, yes, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. And again, sorry I can't talk today. I call the Basij minions because that's how it feels to me. Pawns is a better word, I think, Sierra. Minions is good too. Pawns is a good word though. They were used a lot in the Iran-Iraq war, and in fact we'll talk about that in a second. The Iran-Iraq war. What they would do is they'd recruit these really young ones, like 12, 13, 14-year-old boys. They would essentially brainwash them, and then they would use them as human shields, quite literally, or human waves. So during the Iraq war, they would have, for example, a turret. They would send waves of these young adults, young kids, to go just take all the rounds so that someone can go get the turret. Does that make sense? So they would literally just sacrifice hundreds of them to go get something. So they're deeply embedded in society and brainwashed. So, yeah. And today they're being used, too. They're still doing checkpoints, and the checkpoints were getting picked apart by Israel. And it got to the point where the IRGC said, hey, Basijis, listen, you should bring your young kids and family with you to the checkpoints because you'll, quote, be safer. That was their initial thing. I made a video on it. Then recently, 2 days or so ago, they came and they said, you should bring your kids with you to give them the chance to be heroes. 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 Martyrs. Martyrs. Trump said he armed the Iranian protesters. Blister. I agree. I think he did. He claims the weapons didn't make it there. I don't think everything he says is true. I think he does a lot of deception. So he claims the weapons didn't make it there, but I've seen 100 videos of IRGC and Basij people getting picked apart from people who are all of a sudden armed. But I don't think it's at a scale that's sustainable for a civil war or something. If I had psychosis like Bibi Netanyahu after me, yes, give me all the stuff. John, Israel all the way. Alex, I don't trust Israel. IRGC is the Islamic Gestapo. It's like a mafia. That's a really good way to describe it. Absolutely. I call them Basij minions. Yeah. We've had no one wanting to come up and hate. There's a lot of haters today. Alex Shaw, oh, come on. Come and talk to me, Ed. Let's be friends. Would you trust Bibi Netanyahu as your neighbor? I would probably be making him dinner and saying, thank you for giving my people, my Iranian family, the chance for freedom. Could I make you tea? Can I cut your grass? Hey, I'm cooking steak. Would you like one? That's probably what I would do. And on top of that, I would leave my doors unlocked because I'm sure he'd be so well guarded that I'd be safe. So yeah, I'd have no problem. They had kids walk in front of their tanks. Anti-tank. Yes. I'm sure. I'm Persian. What is this about? Hi, Farah. Based on your profile picture, I'm gonna go on a whim and say that you're against the regime, as am I. So we're just talking about how women are oppressed and the people are oppressed in Iran. Can you please tell Ryan Mata that he does not know what really happened in the world? I don't know who Ryan Mata is, but if you want to bring Ryan Mata up, sure. I do not believe for a second that you are Iranian. Constant tuition. Well, constant tuition. First and foremost, من فارسی بلد حرف بزنم. میتونم فارسی حرف بزنم. مثل شاید بچه 7 سالی. خیلی خوب نه ولی میتونم حرف بزنم. مثلا اگر تو خیابون بودم هیچ مشکل نداشتم. Or you'd be like, well, maybe you just studied Persian. Maybe. Maybe you got your hairs embedded. Maybe. Or, hear me out, or maybe I just am. I spent 3.5 years there. I probably have pictures too. Not probably, I for sure have pictures. My father and family are in Tehran currently. Farah, God bless you. My stepmother and family are currently there. I'm sure that Israeli forces. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna read this verbatim because I think it's very important we all understand. I'm sure that Israeli forces have to learn all the languages over there. Yeah, but they probably have an accent. من لهجه ندارم. خیلی کم. Constant, I got a question for you. If I was Mossad, would there be a young Alex in Iran? Would they start taking me there at 7 to start training me? With my family? In fact, Israel they pay us all to go there, and they even gave me a fake family. And it was great, because they'd give me fake birthdays too, with Batman cakes that did not look like Batman. And if anyone's ever been to Iran, the cake tastes like shit. It's horrible. Their sweets are not good. U.S. sweets are so much better. Even the chocolate's not that good. Just saying. The rest of the food, fantastic. Sweets suck. There are a lot of Jewish Iranians inside. I'm not Jewish, but there's some Iranian Gov people. What does IRGC stand for? Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Or you could say Go Corps. Although Persians and Israelis have always been friends in the past, right? Ironically, yeah, if you zoom out, for sure. How do you feel about Israel taking in stolen Ukrainian grain? I don't know about that, Sierra. I'm not quite sure. I still think this is funny. Is IS space RA? She probably just had a typo. I won't tease you too much. No one wants to come up and yell at me. Just throw up here. Constant, come and talk to me. Listen, this could be your opportunity to talk to a Mossad agent, according to you, right? You could learn a lot from me. Sour cherry rice. Which one is better and why? Israelis and Iranian people are still friends, and we have a common enemy. Totally agree. Absolutely. Is Iran really free now? Not even remotely, Bree. Not even a little. I respect your dislike for oppression. Did you know U.S. intel made that way in the 50s? Wasn't always? Truth seeker. Come up and tell me what you're talking about. I want to go visit Israel now, actually. Okay. Probably not now. And probably wait until things settle down a little, but you're probably okay. They taste like soap. Found out they put rose water in everything. And it tastes like shit. It doesn't taste like shit. It tastes like rose water. Rose water has an overwhelmingly strong aroma too. And the birthday cake, God bless my family. They tried. And they tried. And the cakes looked so good. And then you're like, this isn't that chemical taste that I'm used to and craving. And the frosting, where's the sugar? You know? Anywho. It's called this shit right now. That's not very nice. It's quite safe now. Don't worry. There you go. Molly said it's safe. Can you predict how this will play out? Southern man. At this point, no. Everything I'm saying, nothing's happening. I think it's going to lead to a civil war in some way, shape, or form. And I don't say that lightheartedly. I don't think the IRGC is going to step down. Not all of them, for sure. I think it's going to. I think currently it's an IRGC ran nation, which sucks. It's like a militaristic run nation. I guess one thought of it though is the IRGC got their instructions from the Ayatollah. The Ayatollah is not here. And so all of their strict rules and regulations theoretically came from the top down. So my only thought, and I'm thinking out loud here, is if you don't have that head of religion as the number one person, is there a chance that some of the religious requirements are going to lessen? Maybe, but I don't think noteworthy. I think it's just going to be a civil war. I even did a thought experiment out loud. Hopefully there are more fractured. Good point. Yeah, JT, 100% are more fractured. The evidence you need is the Islamabad, going to Pakistan. They're there, they're not there. 4 planes went, 90 people. Like, I don't think they know. And then Trump said, we have to pause it because they don't know who's in control. Weird opinion. And I'm totally stealing this from someone who sent me something. So thank you guys for sending stuff. But basically, it was like, you remember when Trump had that whole 48-hour thing? And then they gave me a gift. It was such a good gift. 10 boats. They gave me 10 boats. And the 10 boats came through. Someone said that the reason that 10 boats came through, the reason that they brought that up and why that random gift was applicable was because the U.S. needed affirmation that the person that they're negotiating with actually has a say in what's happening, that they're negotiating with someone who's in control. And so the logic was, okay, send 10 ships through. If 10 ships go through without issues, then we know you have some control. So that made complete sense. Now, though, there's like a clear division. You see a bunch of people are stepping down. Ghalibaf was a huge political figure who just now said, I'm not part of the negotiation team. What you're seeing is a group of people who are like, we got to survive. U.S. is destroying us. We got to survive in some way, shape, or form. And then the others are like, they took out our supreme leader. D to America. We're never going to forgive them. Enemies. And so you have a group, I don't even want to say reasonable. You have a group of people who want to survive and a group who are like, F it. And I think they're butting heads a little. Thank you for the rose. I think he was asking about the 1953. Kai, I think he was. Operation Ajax. Totally understand. 10 ships went to China. I saw the 10 ships went through. Du says, Trump, best president ever. It's not as strict anymore. My dad said women don't wear hijab, and they're serving beers at VMN. I don't think anyone's going out anywhere, Farah. And where would they get beer? Especially with the shutdown. Getting beer was hard to get beforehand. Not hard to get. You had to put effort in. So with a blockade, I don't think anyone's drinking now. If they are, they're using their own supply. I don't think alcohol is the primary thing to get in when you can't get in insulin. They should hop on their camels and ride off into the sunset. Part of me gets offended by that. But I hate them so much that I agree. Okay. His son is the leader, correct? Crystal, supposedly. But a lot of reports are saying that he's unalived. So I don't think he's in control right now. Like you would think if you're the head of a country, you would make... Okay, this is my new favorite update. So to finish my thought, if you're the head of a country and your country is being attacked, then you would want to unite the people, and you'd unite the people by coming up with like nightly discussions and chats and like, hey guys, yeah, let's rally together, not hide underground in a cave, right? So what they did, no one has seen him from February 28th. About a week or so ago, a video came out of him walking into a war room, and it was like the clearest AI video, like stupidly clear that it was AI. And so they got a lot of pushback that, hey, this is AI. So they came back about a week later, like maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago. They're like, okay. So the real you're right. But the real reason that we didn't post pictures or hear him talk or let him attend his loyalty meeting, which is like his inauguration, or do the speeches that he was promised to give, was because we're afraid of opulent science, of like witchcraft and voodoo and black magic. So because the Jews can do black magic, we're not going to post any pictures of him. That's literally what the government of 93 million people is saying. Maybe they know something I don't know. Maybe they know something. Oil love. It's Jason. I'm not sure I follow that. What would you like to see, Nick? Are we still in ceasefire? I think, Noah, there were a couple reports 2 days ago of boom booms happening inside Iran, but then they came out to just be failed anti-missile defense systems. LOL. So, yep. Now then, proof that there's literally official gov policy? I don't know what proof you want. Like, what gov policy that they're not posting pictures? Or are you talking which part are you having a hard time believing? You're more welcome to Google any of this. Does anyone else suffering from allergies, or is it just me? I'm in the Midwest, and like the last 2 days have been miserable to the point where I get a migraine from it. Is it allergy season for you guys, or just me? Are we gonna cut that program off? What are you talking about, Noah? Not in America. This is God's country. Proof that there's literally foreign policy. Okay. Welcome back, Pam. Allergies are awful. Okay, so it's not just me. Hey, Trump over. How was that stage story? The comments are just not hitting hard today. No one's going hard in the paint. Allergies are bad this year. Okay, this is not just me. Thank you for reposting, user. Their program. No, my God, Noah. Their end program is not. supposedly, there was some intel that Iran released that they're saying that they're continuing their stuff, but who? 10,000 targets got hit. In fact, they were hitting factories. Now, and to give U.S. credit, they were hitting factories that were owned by the IRGC, but they're hitting steel plants, so they can't even make the steel to make the missiles. So I think we're good. Bad allergies in North Carolina. Really? I would have assumed down south it's good. Allergies are bad. Now it's 16,000 targets we're at. Get local honey from within 50 miles of your home. The local pollen will fix allergy. Allergies. Really? Okay. 2 people said find local honey. No shit. That will be my mission tomorrow. So you not agree prior to Operation Ajax was very forward-moving nation, not one of oppression? No. I don't agree, True Seeker. I think a lot has happened since 53. I think the Shah did a lot. I think he did a lot of good for the people. You should Google what happened in 1964, True Seeker. It was called the White Revolution, but he did a lot of good. I don't think he was perfect. I think he was infinitely better than these extremists that we have now. So civilians are harmed by their government, and other governments hit to help people. Mel Joy. Yes. Now, obviously, there's clearly some other stuff that's happening behind the scenes. But from the Iranian people's perspective, yes. They were at war with their government starting in January. And then another outside government decided that they too were going to attack the government that the people are at war with. I think that's a really easy way to think about it. The people were at war with their government. Unarmed people who are just getting massacred. And then an outside government comes in and starts helping the people. Now, you might be asking, why? That's a different question. But I think you hit the fundamental, the 30,000-foot view you hit. Hey, Caitlin Shaw, thank you. Engendered? I don't know what that word means. What does engendered mean? Interesting. That's actually a word. It means created. Nice. Created by CIA Mossad, which they openly meant. Are you talking about the protests, Nick? Did anyone else know engendered is a real word? Did I say it? Engendered? It has to be engendered. Engendered. Wow. Huh. Yes, okay. Nick did. Nick's high IQ, Mr. 91. Clearly that's not your IQ. It must be higher than that. Trumpo sent their people stuff so they could fight against their government, but were intercepted. I'm not entirely sure. They literally handed stuff out to Kurdish separatists. How do you know they were separatists? Because the Kurdish people, the Kurdish are interesting. My uncle's Kurdish, from Kermanshah. They're not I don't think he would identify himself as a typical Kurd. He's an Iranian Kurd. And they for sure want the IRGC out. They want the Ayatollah. Well, he's out. They definitely want a regime change. But I don't think they want their own... I don't think they want their own land to share with the other Kurds. How about that? At least that's my uncle. Small sample size, full transparency. Okay. Do you think if Iran had a weapon, they'd use it on Israel? No, I think that within like 15 minutes of having it, they'd be spamming the button. They'd be like, oh, we have one? How long until we get two? Send the one, send the one. For sure. They're a bunch of lunatics. Look who's running the country. They are afraid of... They're claiming that they haven't posted a picture of the president because of black magic. Do you think someone who believes in black magic and voodoo should have access to a WMD? Come on. Of course they'd use it. It's like if you gave a monkey a firearm, do you think they'd use it? As soon as they figured out how to use it, they'd use it. They just start looking and playing with it. Maybe it's not the best example, but it is a funny visual. A horrible visual. Where's that quote? Let me find it for you. We're the only country that ever used stuff on humans. Okay. Okay. The article. Do you want to? I'll just give you the article name. No, they are meant for protection. I think Iran would not use it for protection. Noah, why don't you come and talk to me? We can have a very civil, calm discussion. Maybe someone already taught me what engendered. Was it engendered? Engendered mean. Okay, so it was. Here's the article. I'll even give you guys' name. Iran's MP cites Oculent Science as a risk in withholding images of Khamenei Jr. Literally, that's the article name. You can listen to it. It's in English. Noah, by the way, Japan brought us into the war. That we didn't want to be there. What about the Israeli stuff? They haven't even signed the non-proliferation treaty that Iran is in. Actually, Nick, I think that's really interesting. I saw today that the non-proliferation treaty, Iran is now the vice president of. Ironic. We're never going to get much oil. Right? No one wants to come up. I've invited like 15 people up. Do you have any real Iranians on this line? Well, you're probably not going to get any Iranians inside Iran. And if you do, then it's interesting. You should be very worried. They exist, but you have to go through an approval process. And the government has to verify that you're going to use the platform, the internet, to speak good about them. So in other words, you have to be pro-regime. So I'm probably as good as you're going to get. You might get someone who has a much better accent and who maybe came when they were like 20 and then they've been living in the America for like 43 years. You might be able to find one of them. But they're going to say the same stuff I'm saying. And they probably aren't going to look as good as me. And we'll have more gray hairs. No different than Western internet at this point. The levers are just in hands of oligarchs. The accent was pretty good. That was pretty decent. Thank you for appreciating the compass. And thank you for the honey suggestion. Okay. Pamela liked my accent too. No. It is a little different. You said no different than Western internet? Buddy. In Iran, they have the intranet. And first of all, look, I don't think right now, and it's okay, Nick, because you presumably live in a place where you are allowed to go outside and say you hate the government, and nothing will happen to you or your family. Iranians don't have that luxury, but besides that point, you're on the internet right now. They're not. How is that the same? I have Iranian friends, bro. I think you have Iranian friends. I don't think that they'd call you their friend. They'd probably be like, we know this guy. I agree. And still, those outside can represent them. We all know what they think. I have Iranian friends, bro. Please do the accent again. I have an Iranian dad, bro. How about that? I have an Iranian grandparents, bro. I have Iranian cousins, aunts, uncles. My stepmom, bro. Oh gosh. All right. Well, let's see what we're for tonight, my friends. Hi, Game of Thrones fan.
What's up, man?
How are you? What's going on?
I'm good, man. Good. Regarding Iran, IRGC, well, when you look at Iran as a whole, it's full of Shias and idol worshipper like JC. So it's idol worshippers and idol worshippers, the JC worshippers and the Shias. So Hashem is doing exactly what is going to happen, and he's going to strike on them, just like we see. There's no room for idolaters in this world. You understand? People who worship a man or call upon a man, there's no room for them. This is written in the Torah, and this is simple.
So what are
Very
you?
simple.
What are you? I'm missing this. Could you elaborate a little?
Yeah. What's happening in Iran is because it's full of idolaters who call upon a man. That's why they're getting what's happening to them. There's no other reason. There's no other deeper reason, or there's a bunch of people who call upon a man and split God's divinity. So
this is it. I'm just trying to bring it into layman's terms. Israel's doing this because they have to?
No, it's not. If it wasn't Israel, it'd be someone else. It's Hashem doing this.
And what is Hashem?
It's God. God's doing this, right? Why is God doing this? Because when you call upon a man, you split God's divinity, you make God angry.
You're saying like you shouldn't worship a man.
Correct.
I got
Correct. And all of Iran is idol worshippers. The Shias, the JC worshippers.
The people or the government?
The people.
No, I don't think
And
so.
the government.
The
What
government,
do you mean?
I could agree to an extent.
The people,
And I mean, for the record, Game of Thrones. I don't want to be rude. This is a way out there theory, but I'm on this ride with you. So
it's not a way out there theory.
But Game of Thrones. The
what is your
people-
purpose in life to bow down to a piece of paper of a JC fella, of a white guy who was butchered by Romans? You think there's a real purpose of you breathing the same air?
I think
What
there's
is
a
the
lot of
purpose
people
of it?
who aren't religious, who have purpose,
Yeah.
that are just
Yeah,
not
there's no
tied to God
purpose.
at all.
Yeah, there's no purpose to them.
I mean, that's a strong opinion. But hold on, I want to rewind a little. This is a really interesting conversation. So, okay, the people though factually are not very strict Muslims, right? 48% of them drink alcohol.
Yeah, even the Muslims there are Shi'as, which they call upon Ali. When you say Ya Ali, you're calling upon a dead man. They're idol worshippers. It's what I'm making clear to you. Same with the Christians. They worship JC, idol worshippers. The Zorro, whatever the other religion, they worship the sons.
So then the
They worship
Christians
the
are in the
sons.
same. The Christians are in the same boat.
Yeah, they're worse. The Christians split God into three, right? My JC, oh Lord JC, oh Miriam, oh the saints. They pray to saints, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, do
Especially
they
those
not?
Catholics, they pray to a lot of saints.
Yeah, so you think this is making God happy? You tell me.
I
Is
mean,
God happy with
I'm
that?
not very religious, but from my understanding, and please enlighten me. From my understanding, isn't Jesus the Son of God? And
No.
God? No.
You think JC is the son of God and God?
I thought that's what it is.
You thought that's the truth.
Yeah.
So you think a man who was butchered by men is God? If he was divine in any way,
I
you
was
don't
under
think
the
this
impression
happens?
that he was hung, he was on a cross for our sins.
Oh, okay. So a man 2,000 years ago, God sent himself down because he's mad at humanity. So he sent himself down to get butchered knowingly and cried while it happened. So now you, 2,000 years later, Alex, can do whatever you want and you go straight to heaven because he died for your sins. That's reality for you? That's how life works? Are you that much of a fool?
I'm pretty sure you almost hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, that's a foolish way to go on life where you can teach your son, hey, do whatever you want because JC died for you.
That's a fair point.
Right?
No, I probably won't say do whatever you want. I'll probably try to raise him to be a good human.
But that's your ideology. You can do whatever you want because JC died for you. He either died for you or he didn't. You can't have it both ways. Right? You can't have it both ways.
Because why would you be a good person if you don't need to be? That's hard. Being a good person's hard.
Well, it's not necessarily be a good person.
So then, is the U.S. and Israel in this case the saviors of the world because they're doing God's plan?
No, it's animals. Animals are being used like animals. It's like you use a cattle to do what you need to do. You use the animal how you need to use it. That's it. There's no other purpose for it. They're not. It's part of the mission.
So who's the puppet
They're
master?
just tools. They're just
The
tools.
puppet master is
God.
a really holy man.
Yeah.
Who
It's
is
just
it?
God's plan.
Trump?
This is God's plan. No, Trump is just a tool. He's just being used. Everyone's being used. And what's happening is just the core reason is because they're idol worshippers. It's simple. Look at Haiti. Why does Haiti get striked so much with natural disasters? They have such a vile voodoo religion. And the other side are all JC worshippers.
So, okay. So what's the right answer? What?
The right answer is to worship God and God alone. Be fearful.
No, those
Be
they
fearful.
believe in JC.
That's it. Yeah, don't believe in JC.
Believe in a God, and that's it. That's the best
Yeah,
thing.
believe in one God. Don't believe in a man. Don't
No
believe
religion.
He died for you. Huh?
No religion.
No. You could be one of the you could be a righteous Gentile. You could be Jewish. You can even be Muslim.
So
Those
Jewish
are
or
three.
Muslims are cool.
Yeah, or Noahide. Just be a Noahide
What's
agnostic.
a Noahide?
You follow the commandments of Noah. Don't idol worship. They're very basic things. The main thing
Okay.
is don't be an idol worshiper. It's the main thing. You don't agree.
No, dude. Listen. I told you, I'm on this ride with you.
So then, what's stopping you from thinking and having hope in a dead man right now? You say you think JC is the son of God and he's God at the same time, and then when I really explain your doctrine to you, you're like, okay, you're right. It sounds foolish.
Yeah.
It doesn't take you long. You seem like a reasonable person.
Statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm mind struck here. Okay, so now Muslims are cool, but not the Shia ones because they say Ali. So they're
Yeah. Do you know why though?
why they say Ali?
No, I'm saying, do you know why they're not
But
good?
don't the Sunnis worship Muhammad?
How do they worship Muhammad?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't think they do. What can you explain? I'm not familiar. I'm not educated on them. So if
I'm
you
not
know why,
either.
I don't
I
think
was
they
just
do.
under the impression that they had Muhammad as their prophet.
Yeah, so having a prophet is not worshiping him. The Jews have many prophets like Abraham, right? And Muslims believe in all the Jewish prophets, I believe.
No, isn't Jesus in the Quran?
The Quran, yeah. I mean, they call him Isa. It's two different people, I would say. I mean, this JC fella is some white guy depicted, and he called in Mark 7:27. He called you goyim, little dogs, and he called Bnei Israel children. So he doesn't really have the best character in the New Testament.
And Jesus was white.
Well, this is what you guys depicted. Not you. When I say you guys, the Christians depict him. The church fathers depict him as a white guy with
I always
blue
thought
eyes
Jesus looked like me.
and blonde hair. I would say so too. He's a Middle Eastern guy.
That's what I'm saying.
But why did your church fathers make him a white guy?
Probably to make it
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Alex. Every single covenant and every single prophet was given to Semitic people, was given to Bnei Israel. And what were the Romans? The Romans, Europeans, did they get anyone? No. They were hurt. They made up a fake religion, and they're like, here's our Lord and Savior, Lord JC.
Okay,
Right?
the Jews gave it to Europe, and Europe made him white.
Is that not what happened?
My only thought because the Jews probably look Middle Eastern too, right?
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, they made him a white guy. Why? For the white people, right?
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me. That makes sense because I really think Santa Claus is black.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it got lost in translation because if you think about it, the whole do you know the story of Santa Claus?
No, they enlightened me.
So basically, it's a good story if you haven't heard it. There's this guy named Nick, and Nick came from an orphanage, and unfortunately he never found a home. So when he got 17, they let him out on the streets, and he roamed the streets and he ate a lot of leftovers. He was in New York City, contrary to the North Pole, and he ate a lot of leftovers. And believe it or not, he used to chew the gum from like underneath, the tables at restaurants and stuff. He'd go to the tables to eat it, and he'd chew it. So he always had a sweet tooth for candy. And he would take the multicolored gum and he'd roll it up to make candy canes. And eventually, he picked up a trip up to Alaska, and then he swam up north to the North Pole, and then he met Mrs. Claus. I'm being
Okay. Yeah, sounds like JC. Sounds like a fake story like JC. Same thing, right?
just freaking liked the situation. So interesting. You got an interesting point, Game of Thrones. So
Do you think I said anything wrong? Like, I know you're making fun and you're poking fun. You're being a little sarcastic. I enjoy it too.
That was
Like,
very sarcastic.
No, I appreciate it, but like, how about you poke at what I'm saying factually? What am I saying wrong?
I don't like getting in religious debates.
Yeah, why not though? What did I say wrong?
Religion is not a staple of my life.
Yeah, no problem. But what did I say wrong?
Well, I think you had your views, and the issue with religion is a lot of it comes in faith. And so what your faith is, and what someone who is a Jesus follower's faith, and someone who is a Shia Muslim follower's faith, all think that they have the right answer, but none of them have more proof than the other, right?
Well, I made it very clear that
Your path is logical to an extent.
I didn't say just become
If you talk to a priest, theirs is logical. You talk to a rabbi, theirs is logical. You talk to a Muslim, theirs is logical.
Did I not say you could be a Muslim or a Jew or a Noahide?
You did give three options.
I made it simple.
Sure if you talk
Don't
to
call
the
up on a
Catholics,
man.
they'll be like, you're a Catholic too.
Yeah, so I'm asking you, do you think a church father who was a politician 3,000, 2,000 years ago now is sitting next to God and he's tapping God on the shoulders and these Catholic priests can just ring those saints up and tap? Does that make sense?
So here's what I really wholeheartedly think.
Complete foolishness, though.
No, I'm being, like, all sarcasm aside, I'm being dead serious right now. I think, right, that regardless of what your thoughts are, regardless of what your beliefs are, that if you're a good person, then you're going to have a good afterlife. If you're a bad person, you're going to have a bad afterlife.
That's
and
what
I
you
really think
think.
it's that simple. In my
You think
heart.
it's that simple? You think
really
it's so you think God Almighty put us on this earth as a test, so you could just sit down in your bed and eat some pizza and then worship a cross?
So here's the thing, Game of Thrones. Like, I'm
And
being
as long
serious.
as you're nice to your dad and mom, you go to heaven?
I think if you're a good person, you have a good afterlife. And here's where it gets interesting. I think what you define as good and what I define as good could be very different. What I define as bad and what you define as bad could be very different. So, for example, let's say to you, eating pork is bad. Well, you have your own moral guidelines. And in your head, if you eat pork, it's bad. You did something wrong. So you have to deal with that in your conscience. If I eat pork, I don't think twice. It's like, okay, no big deal. However, I'm making something up. If I get mad and lose my anger and punch a hole in the wall, to me, that's bad. I'd have to live with that guilt. And to you, you'd be like, it's not a big deal. It's a hole in the wall that I could patch. So I think that at the end of the day, if you're a good person, you're a good
I think
athlete.
it's all subjective. You think it's all subjective?
I think so.
Okay.
Is there any harm in my thought?
Yeah, there
What
is.
I'm saying is, if you're a good person, it's
There's
not bad
complete
for
harm. There's complete harm.
Why is that?
So if I was satanic, right, and I'm a good person and I give some money to charity and I don't hurt nobody,
You wouldn't be satanic then if you're a good person.
Oh, really?
I'm asking. Yeah.
No, you absolutely can be a satanic, and you could be, it doesn't call for you to go harm people necessarily. Right?
Okay. If you had a list of as a satanic person, if you had a list of all the good stuff that you did, was it a big list or did you not do anything good? What bad stuff did you do? I don't think it matters as much what your beliefs are. I really think it matters what you do. Are you good or are you bad?
Well, you're entitled to your own opinion, just like I'm entitled to my own opinion.
100%.
I hope, you are a grown man, you're an adult. I hope you'd look into, this world, and you're on here for a short trip. You're not here forever.
That I could agree with.
So if you really think, you being nice to your parents and being nice to some randoms on the internet is going to get you to heaven, it's going to stray you from Gehenna, I would say look into it. Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
No problem, because JC died for your sins, and that's what a Christian is. You're not religious, but no Christian is religious. What does it mean to be a religious Christian? You believe that this guy died for you? No, you don't have to, though. You don't have to do any of that. All you have to do is believe he died for you and you go to heaven. So that's why you're not religious. It doesn't matter.
It's easy.
It's easy. You won already. I would love that. It's comforting. You're chilling.
Game of Thrones, I really appreciate. Honestly, I enjoyed the conversation.
I did too, man.
Thanks for coming up.
No, thank you.
For sure, buddy. Hello. No. Sword of the Merciful. This is going to be fun. You can't be a good person if you're satanic. That was kind of what my thoughts are. I don't like talking religion just because, like, people get so gung-ho on there's only one way. And I like, all sarcasm aside, I was being very sarcastic. All sarcasm aside, he was actually, like, when you could have a conversation with him, I appreciated that. Sword, request up again, buddy. He just wanted to be right. Caesar, honestly, I think he would, like, that was we very clearly have very different beliefs, but I think he did a good job at explaining his view. He remained polite. He remained calm. I don't think our views were ever going to align, but that was okay. He was respectful. That 10 out of 10 conversation. Just belief will not get you into heaven. Heaven isn't promised. We all face judgment and reckoning our life smooth. I remember while we're waiting for this guy, this is completely personal and has absolutely nothing to do with Iran. But I remember, so I went to a Catholic school, kindergarten to 8th grade. Now, again, I tell everyone I'm not a very good Catholic. I don't go to church ever. And I never liked going to church before. And you guys now kind of view what my religious thoughts are. Anywho, I went to this, it was really messed up. At 14, I had a friend. Frickin' he 100% was on a call, and shame on his parents. But he was like, hey, man, you want to go to haunted houses on Halloween? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, awesome. My parents are picking us up. I'm like, Mom, can I go to this haunted house? Sure, honey. Great. I go to this haunted house, and it was a play-by-play. I'm 14, okay, so very vulnerable. And it was this play in this massive place, and you go from one room to another room to another, and it was depicting this guy who was a good guy, lived a great life. He goes to this bank, and an armed robber comes in, and he jumps in front of the projectile to block this little kid, and he faces the gates of heaven. This is the story. He faced the gates of heaven, and then it shows side by side another story of this guy who was a thief and a bad person and came to Jesus at the last minute, was like, God, forgive me, I'm so sorry. And he too goes down. And so you now have this saint of a human being who took one for a kid, and you have this other guy who was bad but said, sorry, God. And they're at the gates of heaven, and it was like the judgment day, and God was there and saying, like, oh, you believe, you're this, you're good to go to heaven. And this other guy was like, hey, yeah, you were a good person, but you didn't believe. Sorry. And then they showed him in hell. And I'm like, so I'm 14. And I'm like, oh my God. So I remember I lost so much sleep over it. And I remember going to my mom and being so concerned. I'm like, Dad's totally going to hell, Mom. Like, what? My grandparents are going to hell. My aunt, like, they're all going to hell. Like, what? And she's like, slow down. Whoa, slow down. And so I remember, it was awkward. I remember, again, not ever going to church. Going out of my way. On Sundays, my mother used to make me go to church until I was 16. And once I got around 14, she was like, we had a church maybe a mile up our road. She's like, you could run to church, get your exercise, go to church, come back. And I would just run the whole time. And so this time I actually went to church. And after, I'm like, Father, I got to talk to you. I'm like, listen, here's what's going on. God bless this guy. God bless this guy. He was like, he didn't try to touch me, first of all. Got lucky there. But he was like, listen, I think as long as you're on the right path, you're okay. Don't stress. And I took that to heart at 14, and I still believe in this thing. As long as you're on the right path. I didn't take that as long as you're on the right path to believing. I took that as long as you're on the right path to being a good human, you're probably going to be okay. Amen. Anyway, we went completely on a tangent. Wow. Grace is belief, and faith is obedient. Okay, I mean, religion is something that people go crazy on. That is not what most Jewish people think. Very good conversation. I didn't think it was that bad. You didn't see through his sarcasm. I don't know. Maybe you didn't see through mine. Heaven isn't promised. You will face judgment day. Yeah, okay. Just belief will not get you in heaven. I know someone who can come up and chat religion for days. I do too. You just want to be right cultish. Okay, we got it. So they have this one guy, Sword, Bialige. This like worshiper of the highest. See you all in Jannah. I don't know what that is. Manha. Engaged to Ferry. Okay, are you coming, Sword? I invited you like 5 times. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I agree with you, Alex. Thanks. Okay, not got lucky there. What did I miss, Pamela? Anyway, Alex. Nayar balu un modar dorish. Nayar balu un modar. Nayar. Oh, برای مرده. گو خورده. من ازش نمیترسم. You said he didn't try to touch you. Oh, yeah. What's effed up? Like, super bad? Like, in our area, there's been a thing. Another side story where we're waiting for someone to come up. Again, I went to a Catholic school for kindergarten to 8th grade. And my father, like, growing up, education was everything. Everything. You, Alex, come on, buddy. Do better. And my mom was like, she's pretty religious, and she's such a great person. She's really a saint of a human being. Mom, if you're on, I love you. But she was like, I just want him to go to church. And I think we only went to church like once a month on Fridays. But if you were an altar boy, you got to have a half day, and you'd go to the church, and you'd do whatever, like get the ceremony ready. And honestly, now that I think about it, I'm like 99%. I'm judging here, and I'm stereotyping, but bear with me. The priest at the time did have a little bit of a twang to him. He dressed a little nice, and he did maybe talk a little bit. So maybe. But I really want to be an altar boy. And my father was like, absolutely not. Like, no. I'm like, come on, Dad, please. No. I'm like, Mom, come on. She's like, honey, listen to your dad. I'm like, no, come on. And I had a really small school. There was 8 8th graders that we graduated with. I was legit, there was one other person. So I guess that's not many. I guess 50% statistically speaking. We had 4 boys, 4 girls. 2 of the boys were altar boys. I so wanted to be one, I wasn't. So I had to stick, and not pay attention to school. Another bad thing, I'm literally waiting for someone to come up. I hated going to church, but sometimes churches have these beautiful pillars and stuff. I don't have OCD. I don't have any neurological thing like that. So I'm not saying like, oh, something's wrong with you. I'm like, I was just that bored. I used to just stare up at the ceiling the whole time. And the teachers and stuff thought I was just praying. But I'd actually look at the beam and I'd be like, okay, if this falls, where's a safe place to sit? Oh, well, that one. Well, what happens if it like that? That's what I spent 10 years doing. Anywho, thank you, Dixie. Then try to subdue, but they end up joining a boys' club. They try to subdue it, then end up joining a boys' club. Yeah, well, Father John was his name. Very white name. Okay. So apparently we had a religious debate. Not where I anticipated tonight going, but I didn't mind it. Alicia, anyone else have any interesting things to talk about? Let's buckle up. Do you think the IRGC is in charge of Iran? 100%. Is Trump working with lower IRGC? I think that Trump is. Is he working with lower IRGC? He has to be. The upper ones are mostly gone, so he has to. He has to be working with someone. I don't know. There's so many people who were taken out. Are you still Catholic? Trockwell, Nunush, merci Aziza. Are you still Catholic? Yeah, but like I said, I'm not a good one. Like from a Catholic's perspective, I legit try to be a good person. And if that's going to get me into heaven, great. If it's not, then you know what? I'm not even going to be upset. Right? Like when you put your dead serious, and we're talking about religion again. Someone feel free to come up and talk religion, but when you put your head down in your pillow at night, you have thoughts. And if those thoughts are, damn, I'm not I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done this. That's a shitty feeling. It's hard to sleep. You wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, shit. If you're good and you do good that night, you put your head down on your pillow and you're like, oh, that was good. Right? Like you feel good when you do good stuff. You don't feel good when you don't do good stuff. You feel good when you eat healthy food. You don't feel good when you don't eat healthy food. You give me a huge thing of donuts and I eat it. It feels good for 5 minutes. And then it's instant regret. It's like, damn it, I shouldn't have done that. Then for 2-3 hours, you're upset. You don't sleep good. Your sugar's all it screws with you. If I go eat a steak, God, it would be another interesting conversation. I really wish I could find a nutritionist to come up. But if I eat a steak, I feel fantastic. I can go eat a 16-ounce steak and then go wrestle for 2 hours and have zero issues. If I eat one little piece of bread, and I don't have a gluten issue, if I eat one piece of bread and try to go walk down to get the mail, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. So, like, my point is, I think there's clear indications of, in general, if you do something and it makes you feel good, long run, you're probably okay, right? That's my litmus test. All right, we got Amber. Amber's been a recent guest, but I don't remember talking to you, Amber. I do remember your hair, though. That is a very cool haircut. What's going on, Amber?
Hi. Okay. So I've been following you almost since the beginning. One of my questions is I'm not really educated in the overthrow of the 1979 Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. I know that the Iranian people want his son to take the place. What does that look like? Does he not carry the same views as his father? I know his father was exiled. What does that look like?
That's a really complex question. So you really, Amber, have you listened to, there was like a 1 month period where I had a block here with a bunch of dates when we'd go through everything. Did you ever get to hear that?
I did not.
Okay. So
I did not. I saw briefly part
okay.
of it, but I could not get into all of it.
That's no problem. So unfortunately, I can scratch the surface, but if you wanted to understand what happened in '79, you kind of had to understand what happened to all that stuff before. Like the earliest starting point was like 50.
So I do have a slight education of it. I do know that Mohammed he partly controlled the Savak, correct?
Yeah.
That's what got Khomeini to come in.
No, I mean it's way more complex than that. So just to scratch the surface a little, and I'm due for another history thing. I've just been avoiding it because it's boring, right? Like I feel like the people have heard it 700 times. But just to give you a quick answer, 1979, Iran was in a very vulnerable time. First of all, the Shah was sick. Okay.
Right.
On top of that, inflation was relatively high. So you had high inflation. Taxes were pretty high. You did have the Savak, which was the Shah's mafia. So it wasn't like partially ran. Like it was like his CIA mafia group people.
Right.
They were relatively oppressive with freedom of speech. So they didn't like it for you to say bad things about the Shah. Okay. On top of that, the Shah, there was still a pretty high poverty level, albeit it was much lower than before, but it was still relatively high. The Shah had spent a lot of money, right? There was reports that he spent $120 million on a single party, but then 8 miles south, you have tent city,
people living in poverty.
Right?
Right.
And on top of that, he was really pushing westernization. And then the missing detail is from 1953, there's arguments. There was a good argument and good solid evidence to show that the Shah was theoretically retain power. It would theoretically retain power because of the U.S. So the Iranian people wanted a voice of their own. They wanted democracy. And then they chose Khomeini because he was making a bunch of false promises. He was promising things that are just so too good to be true. And the Iranian people kind of fell for it. So in a 2-minute summary, that's about as good as I can get without giving in, like turning it into a 40-minute.
So that I'm aware of. But I'm wondering, like his son, does he not carry the same values and traditions?
No.
Would the leadership be different if he were to take over?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And for the record, Amber, if you go back, I would assume, I don't have data on it, but I would assume that a vast majority of Iranians would go back in time and just live with the Shah. The Shah's son came to the U.S. and really grew up in the U.S. He has always been very vocal in, I want democracy for Iran. So he came up with a plan to be the transitory leader for, I think it was like 2 years. You can Google his plan. It's 196 pages. It's called the Prosperity Project. And the first part of it is setting up, letting the people decide what type of government they want, and then helping implement that government, right? So you need a plan. So he's volunteered to be the transitionary leader. And I really, really wholeheartedly, in my heart of hearts, think that he is a good person who really does want this for the Iranian people.
Okay. And so your fellow Iranians, they feel the same way?
There was a report that came out not long ago. The poll was on 100,000 people, and the 100,000 people, he had a 79% approval rating.
Okay.
So that's
okay. So My next question is, with the IRGC still in charge and with them having the money and the influence that they have and their properties all over the world, what was Soleimani's niece, I think, was living here in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
Jim
with
did.
all this power and these negotiations going on, how likely do you think that it is that such a change could take place?
Well,
Because I feel like the
Yeah.
IRGC, they're going to still scratch and claw their way to stay at the top. And, will Trump buckle? What will happen? Because I would really
don't-
love to
yeah.
see the Iranian people free.
So, same. I think the Iranian people are so pissed from what has happened over the last 47 years that I don't think they are going to just go back. I don't think there's ever going to be a normal again, right? Like, there's going to come a time where when something happens where a line is crossed and it's never going to be the same. And that line has not only been crossed, but it's been, way crossed, right?
Right.
So,
But
the Iranian people are
over
for
the past few years, we've seen several protests, and they gain strength, but then, they shut down the internet, and then they kill thousands
Right.
of people, and it loses steam. And then, you build up hope, and then it gets crushed.
Correct. Yeah, but this time's different just because of the sheer number. Now, everyone says this time's different, but look, they did an incredible amount of damage to the people, right? And on top of that,
Yes.
they did an incredible amount of casualties, not just on the lives, the casualty count's high. The people are pissed. When you don't just go to war, quite literally war with an enemy, and then live peacefully next to them. And that's what's happened. The war did not start on February 28th. It started on January 2nd,
Oh, right.
and 3rd, right? When the Iranian people and the government started fighting. So I think this is my new way of saying it as of an hour ago. I think the war between the Iranian people and the government is going to last longer than the war between the U.S. and Iran.
So, do you really feel that the Iranian people can overcome the IRGC this time?
With time, they will. It's not. I don't think it's going to get pretty, but with time, they will. I don't know.
I know it won't be
define
pretty.
Time. I can't define time. Is it going to be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years? I don't know. But with time, the people are going to win.
Okay. And do you feel it would happen quicker with the support of the U.S., or will it be just a solely Iranian-backed effort?
The Iranian people need to carry it the last mile, for sure. But the Iranian people, for 47 years, have made zero progress. U.S. came in and in one day did an infinite amount of progress. They took out the supreme leader day one. So, yeah, of course it's going to get a lot faster with U.S., for sure. But I think it's very important that the Iranian people carry it the last mile. Because we don't... The last thing that we need is another puppet, right? And I'm not saying the Shah was a puppet. I don't think he was. I think he was a very patriotic person who legitimately cared about the country as a whole of Iran.
Okay. That is been I've watched since I believe Masa Amani. Was that her name?
Mahsa Amini. Yep.
Masa Amini. I've been watching since that, and I just keep hoping that your people find their place and their freedom.
With time, they will, Amber. 100%.
I know. I just wanted that's why I kept saying, I wanted to get your input since you have more knowledge on this than I do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming up, Amber.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for answering.
For sure. Take care.
All right, good night.
Bye-bye. All right. We have... Sorry, I don't know. I think I need to update the app or something. Amber, I'm going to try to... There we go. I figured it out. Before, when I disconnect someone, I used to be able to click their face, and then this little menu at the bottom would pop, and it would say, disconnect. Now it doesn't. We have the guy who doesn't have a mic, who doesn't want to come up anymore. Okay. Eli, the awesome gift giver, Israeli. Sure.
Hello,
That's the name. What's going on, Eli?
how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Thank God. I'm Persian Jewish.
Okay.
What do you think
Speak
is
Farsi?
gonna... What?
Do you speak Farsi?
Khubi halatot chotere.
Like
Some-
good or just a little?
Just a little and some not good words.
Give me the not good words. That's the real test.
Pedesag, Khatuzarasha.
That's not bad either. Dirt on their head and their dad's a dog. You gotta step it up a little. Eli, send it home.
That's what I know. That's what my father taught
Okay.
me.
So your dad is half Iranian? Or full?
No, my dad's full Iranian. He was
Okay.
born in Iran. I was curious. Who do you think is going to be the better ally of Iran? Who's going to help remove the IRGC? America or Israel?
I think Israel has more motivation to get a regime change than the U.S. does. So I would say Israel from that perspective.
Oh, cool. I know, it's just interesting. I never really speak to Iranians. I mean, I only speak to Jewish Iranians, but it's interesting because I do feel a connection to Iran because obviously my father's from there, but I never get to meet Iranian people that are not Jewish. It's so interesting.
So I have to be completely transparent. I was born in the U.S. I spent my summers in Iran, 16 or 17 of them. I should probably count because I keep saying 16 or 17. It was either 16 or 17. Obviously, I'll get the number. But I spent a lot of time there, 3.5, 4 years. So, but I am an American, hence my lack of accent. But I also have my entire grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. So I just want to disclose. But I'm not Jewish. I'm assuming your view has to be very similar to mine, though, right?
What's your view?
That the IRGC has to go.
100%.
They were a T group.
Dude, why would I?
I'm just making sure, bro.
I'm Jewish.
Crazy stuff. Probably 50% of the people who come up claim to be Iranian when they're very clearly not.
Because the people who from Iran or who have history in Iran, who are actually legitimate people who have family there, know that it's dangerous and anything could happen at any time. And it's scary. It's really scary to me, how much propaganda there is about a country, because it is about Israel. It becomes about Israel. It's
There's a lot of anti-Semitism for sure.
I guess my point is people don't like Israel, so therefore they whitewash Iranian IRGC propaganda stuff.
That's
whatever.
fair. Let me reiterate what you said.
What?
People's hatred towards Israel and towards Jewish people is less. It is less than their hatred towards a legit T group that unalive 45,000 of their own people minimum.
But it's not even about that. It's about that's what's causing them to spread so much misinformation about Iran. If they didn't hate the Jews, they have no problem. In half of these countries, they have no problem stating the facts. But since the Jews are involved or Israel's involved, therefore, and that's where I think the IRGC gets the power from. It's that they get to scapegoat Jews in Israel. I think that's one of the places they get the power
One
from.
of them, for sure, especially from the Middle East. Amanda asked the question. She said, so does the IRGC not like the Jews? Yeah, Amanda, they despise them, right? That the story of at the mosque where I saw a billboard that said, unalive to Israel, yeah, they for sure hate them. That's their number one enemy. Not entirely sure why, but it is.
I think it's, I don't know. And also, most people, I think, get this wrong. They think, Iranians are very, religious people. From what I was raised with, the Iranians are more or less, a lot of them are secular. They're just more of, what do you call it? You said before, what was the word you said? Patriotic. They're more patriotic. They want a democracy. They want they want a good life. They want a peaceful life. They want to advance in technology. They want to become they don't want to stay where they are. And it's so sad to see that whatever.
Fair. Eli, I really appreciate you coming up.
Okay, have a wonderful day.
You too, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mel Joy, welcome.
Hi.
What's going on?
This has been a really interesting conversation. This is my actually first time ever talking with someone through TikTok.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been wild. I've only been on for I think 40 minutes or so, but
It's a long time. So,
yeah, I mean the religious conversation was funny to me.
good.
And I was very much trying to figure out where you were coming from with the tagline. You're the support the IRGC or the
We just
government.
completely. We went outside into the woods, and then we just kept going, and I was sitting shotgun, so I didn't get to control the car.
For sure. So I guess I got a little confused I am American. I'm from the U.S. and public school. So my history is horrible, and I am trying really hard to learn from people who have more lived experience, or at least aren't, getting their textbooks from weird companies.
Sure.
But I think you had kind of touched on it because I did that 30,000 foot comment of like, okay, so their government in Iran is attacking the people, and then several, U.S. and Israel come in and take out leadership, also a lot of casualties. And I'm very confused on how that can be seen as like helpful to the people.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Hey, first of all, Mel, I appreciate you coming up and asking, opposed to just judging. So here's a quick 30-second background. Oh, I'll give you more than 30 seconds. But what I'd encourage you to do is come back. What day is today? Today's Monday? Oh my God, today's Monday. It won't be Tuesday. Wednesday. Come back Wednesday. And the first 15, 20 minutes or so, I go into great detail of everything. But I think it's super important for you to hear those details, Mel, that are really graphic, so you can appreciate it. So my stepmother is currently in Iran. My grandparents are currently, my aunts, cousin, uncles, they're all there. And I get to talk with them. And I've been there. I've lived there. And so I think it's super duper important to talk to someone who's actually been there, because their perspective is going to be different than that who's not, right? So that all being said, Iran is an extremely oppressive place. Women have pathetic amount of rights, right? There's extreme oppression throughout. In fact, we started today talking about some of the oppression, like women can't travel without their husband's permission. The child custody goes to a man after the kid's 7, and the list goes on and on, right? Like women and men can't go to the beach at the same time. They can't go to the gym at the same time. They're not allowed to date. Like, it's oppressed, right? The people have gotten fed up with it. And for 47 years, they've been trying to get this government out. The issue is the government is powerful. It's a big country that spent a lot of money. They had money on oil, and they've spent it on oppressing the people and funding local tea groups. So the people have been trying to get out. And the last thing that happened in January, the numbers that you're hearing are far, far lower than if you talk to anyone inside. Mm-hmm. And so all those massacres happened, 45, 50, however many thousand. And that's the government who's supposed to be protecting the people, doing it to their own people. Yeah. And so from the Iranian people's perspective, they're at war with the government. That's been the theme tonight, right? Yeah. They have zero ability to defeat them. Now, I think this is, I think I know where you're going to go. And if I'm not, then I'll completely stop talking and hand you the mic. But bear with me for 1 second. The Iranian people, this is the best example. The Iranian people, metaphorically speaking, are this 5-year-old. And they are being beaten by their mother to the point where they're almost unalived. The U.S. comes in and starts attacking the mother. From the lens of the 5-year-old, they don't care what the intentions were, right? They're like, I don't care. So even if in this example, even if the U.S., right, there's this big guy and he sees that this mother is beating the child and doesn't care. He just wants to take the purse off this mother. So he pushes the mother down, starts beating her. From the lens of that 5-year-old who was almost unalive, they don't care. So the Iranian people, they don't care about the oil. They don't care about, when you don't have freedom and when you're on the cusp of survival, the only thing that matters to you is survival. And then preventing it from happening again. Hence why the U.S. and Israel attacking and taking out all of these. The Iranian people overall, no one likes war, but they're not mad that this is happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's more like an enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Sure.
That 100% makes sense, especially when you're, think about it in lieu of like someone in a vulnerable position, like anyone who's helping that attack stop is going to be helpful. Generally speaking, it's just so hard because I know that some of the things that are like themes that it sounds like are in Iran for women and First Amendment speeches, like, well, not First Amendment, but freedom of speech and all of that is like, so the folks that are helping the U.S. are helping in Iran is the U.S. and we're about to be going, like, we're backsliding into very similar not as extreme, but we're backsliding into those same kind of oppressions. And so it's like just a weird space to kind of recognize, from my point of view of here, of like all the things that I wish my government wasn't doing. And now they're like, the heroes coming and helping this other group while also,
Yeah.
or, this other country while also like not following international law and being really irresponsible with like how we are engaging over there. Just generally like no strategy or anything and putting ourselves.
So Mel, I think
yeah, go ahead.
there's a lot of things that were just said there.
Okay.
So the first is, I understand. The first thing you're saying is fine, right? I hear you saying fine, okay. The U.S. is coming and being a hero to another country. However, we have our own issues at home, and in your eyes, we're going backwards in time, and things aren't good here, and we have no business being there when we have our own issues. Is that 30,000 foot of it?
Kind of not. We don't have no. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay, so
I personally don't think we should be out there
I don't
doing much like
yeah,
that.
in
but
my
yeah.
heart of hearts, unfortunately, I don't think that the only intention that the U.S. and Israel got intervened was Operation Free the Iranian People. The
No.
government was a real threat.
Mhm.
Literally, I, with my own eyes, multiple times, have seen billboards posted throughout saying DEATH to America, to Israel. And these people are actively attempting to develop weapons of mass destruction. That in and of itself should be like okay. Now, how close were they? I don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyone knows. Closer than
Is
they were
that-
20 years ago.
As
Right.
from like a native speaker though,
Yeah.
like isn't that kind of hyperbole? Like
No.
it's not literal. It's
No, it's
very
literal.
poetic language. So
It is a
like, does
poetic
that
language. But you don't poetically say, and you don't poetically put pictures of stuff happening. Like,
Okay.
no, this is a literal thing. When the people went to the streets and they literally said, the saying is "Ma'aqah Khamenei," it means like to the leader.
Yeah.
They meant it.
It's not like down with?
This isn't a hurt. What does it say? Break a leg? This isn't a break a leg type thing. No, that they really mean it.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
can see that.
So Mel, what I'm gonna do,
yeah.
I'm gonna personally, I am looking at you with your purple smoke.
You do.
I am personally inviting you to on Wednesday, come and listen to the whole story, and I go into detail, and the stuff is all like, look anywhere, and you can find this stuff,
Yeah.
and then you'll be like, holy shit. Okay, you know what? For as bad as the Iranian people have it right now, and for the horrible things that happen, and you might hate war, which is fine. I hate war too. You might be like, okay, as much as this sucks, as much as I hate it, I see one huge benefit to the Iranian people, and I'm fine. Thank you. Good luck, Iranian people. I think that will, at the bare minimum, be your opinion.
Okay. So
Cool.
Wednesday, what time?
I will post it on my thing, but it should be Wednesday, like 10:15 will be my goal, 10:30 at the latest. The issue is I have to get caught up because someone can come here and they'll be like, "Did you see what happened? That Trump said something at 9:34 and it was a 30-minute thing that takes me to read, and then I have to remember it." And so I feel like I'm studying to get on, so that's why it gets delayed. But around that time frame. Thank you, Lori.
It's wild. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Damn thing. I need to figure out this glitch. I thought she was going to come and yell. She totally didn't yell. Okay. This is an interesting one. We really went down the rabbit hole of religion. That was a good conversation. Listen, I thought that was a good conversation with that guy. You think he was being sarcastic with me? The Kurds need to take them on as well. 30 days from now, it all changes. The real war is on women by the IRGC. What still remains? The Ayatollah hated us since 1979. Well, I think before that. What is the previous Republican war that turned into a catastrophe? You're saying Iraq, Afghanistan, there's a lot. Where have I heard WMD? By the guy who got a shoe thrown at him. They mean it for sure. No, it's not hyperbole. Will, I totally agree. When they say un-American, yes, you have. Listen, when someone says, "I hope you go unalive yourself," you don't say that joking. Like, you gotta mean it. The Persians, Iranian people are diverse. There you go. Yeah, Zaria, I don't disagree with her. Have you ever been in a Muslim country, in no peaceful country in the world? No still, no run, no? I'm gonna try reading that again. You ever been in Muslim country and the peaceful country in the world? No still, no run, no. I'm just gonna say no. Okay. ای بابا این دختر کسخوله خیلی حرف میزده چرت و پرت میاره ولی شاید میاد فردا. They are awaiting the return of Mahdi to bring about the end of the world. Okay. Israel is a good ally for us to believe. I'd agree. That's not true. The people are living peacefully in their country. I'm glad I said no. I wasn't sure if I was going to say no, but I'm glad I did. The people are not... What? All right, let's do it. Who'll be the last one? User, Mr. Mehan. I'm giving you a great opportunity. You get to come and convince me. Change my mind. Hashtag change my mind. They are smart. Who's smart? Okay. You're going late tonight. Truckwell, I am. You're right, I need to go to bed. I really should be responsible. We have an intern who started at our office. So that means I actually have to be on time because it's rude if I don't show up and the intern's there. So I should. He won't come up, Anna. He no want come, no, up, no. Peace, no. Iranians have a plan to revolt on the military. You think military would lay down weapons? The Artish, maybe. The IRGC, probably not. Maybe some. I agree, Amanda. He won't come up. Amanda, did you sell your house? They hated us even during the Shah's time and got more angry when Carter came. Caesar, who hated us? The Ayatollahs? I agree. Try GCC. Different experience. No rum. No rum. Makes you throw up. Bah! No rum. But if you do rum and coke, good. Very good. No throw up. Headache, though. Joe Smith, I am. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful country. Because no rum. Rum, no. No, it's going live. It's going at the end of next week. Amanda, you're going to do great. I'm sure you're going to do great. Dr. Great. Join. Red. You're Jewish. I'm not. We had a really good religious discussion today. I'm not Jewish. Back then, they all hated us for helping Israel. Who? I don't. Do you? I don't know what we're talking about. I'm sorry. Tanks made in USA. Oh, tanks probably are made in USA. But I'm not sure what we're talking about because your last message was back then they all hated us. Okay. I don't support it, do you? And I totally do not support the IRGC. The entire area. Okay. Someone pays you for this. Listen. Come up. I'm at 3 times. Come and talk to me. You can have my money for the day. I think we're at 2 cents. And I literally think we're at 2 cents. Okay, he doesn't want to. All right, my friends, it's 12:42. Maybe we call it. Does someone have something good happen? Let's go. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, come on, Dr. Hananana. They're great. Come on, Hananana. Come on, Hananana. You support the Shah's son? I do support the Shah's son. I think he's our best chance. By a lot. Who else is going to do it? The Shah is worse than the IRGC. All right, Aunt. Why do you say that, my friend? All right, Aunt, come on. I need to go to bed after this, but I'm intrigued. I'm not tired yet, but I should be. Come on, Aunt. Okay, you can be even better. You don't have to turn on your camera. If you are human and pro-Iranian people, you are Israeli. Stupid conclusion. Yeah, I agree. Do you say no multiple times in one sentence? You know? No. You see what I did there? That was a high IQ move. I said, do you know? As in it, I was going to say, like, do you know what? And then I said, no. So I used KNOW and NO. Because I'm aware that saying no would be a double negative, thus making it a positive. Persian appreciated my comment and gave me the respect. Sweet. Sweet. We used to buy oil from the Middle East in 1973 and they cut it off. Wouldn't it be nice to get oil back? The Shah grew up in the U.S. I feel like he will probably be democratic. You're totally right, Pure. I don't want to wake up people in my household. Thug life. You can always go in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom, turn on the shower, turn on the fan, and sit on the toilet. But don't use it. That'd be rude. If Israel supports it, whatever it is, you know you have to do the opposite. Interesting. I feel like you should make a t-shirt on that and then wear it publicly. Ideally by a synagogue. One of the ones that have the securities there. Document it. TikTok viral. Juicy. I don't even know. Melange. I'm tired. Joyce, I'm going to bed too. Good night. Although I went to the patio. There you go. Mel wanted it. W. Not taking the dump out. I think if it was earlier, I would have went up. I gave you an out. All right. I think this is it. Boo. I would love to come up, but I don't want to wake people up. Listen, you have a choice to make, Aunt. Listen, nothing in life comes free. Nothing good in life comes free. So you have a good opportunity, but it's not going to come free. All right, I think we're done, yeah? We used to buy oil. Spurgeon appreciated my comment. Good. I think we're done. That would be anti-Semitic. That would be a very anti-Semitic shirt if we're talking about that shirt. Senior Lady, hey, welcome. All right, I think that's it, my friends. I think we're done. Scott, you've been saying a lot, too. But I don't have energy anymore. It's 12:45. I should go to bed. Thank you all. Darlene, good night, everyone. Good night. Okay, Wednesday's going to be a history night. If you heard it, don't come until the end, like 15 minutes later. But I gotta focus on the story. Because if I get distracted, then I don't do a good job telling the story. And then people are like, your story sucks. So I gotta focus on it. So Wednesday, ideally 10:15, I'm going to go into story mode. We're going to talk about all the good stuff. And then, hopefully, we'll have a good conversation. Realistically speaking, what I've noticed is when we have story days, the effing lunatics come up. And I didn't swear because, Darlene's here. So, there's that. And maybe Aunt will come. Senior Lady, thank you for getting me to 10K. Although I'm still not entirely... I tried doing a little research, and apparently the likes don't do anything. But MM says they do. And I'm not very experienced in this. And I don't know what the algorithm is yet. It's not easy to research. Good night, Caesar. Depends if you show up on my page. Yeah. Because there's that thing that you can do. It's like a plus. Yeah. Gifting likes push out the lie more. Is that a fact, Compass? I just hate asking for gifts. Although every gift that we got for this month is going to Nahal, the girl who was on. If you guys haven't heard her story, listen to her story. It's incredible. Yes? Interesting. Okay. I'm done being boring to you guys. Peace and love. Good night. Thank you for the senior grandma and for all of you who tapped. Thank you. You don't follow silence. Well, I don't follow assholes, so I'm not going to follow you either. Can't wake up people in your house. I won't roast you, although I kind of want to. Darlene will yell at me. So what I won't say is I'll be like, oh, are you like a 13-year-old kid? With two of your siblings next to you? Well, mom's in the room again, aside from the hall with dad. And your dog's down there, little Archie. You're afraid that if you open your door, Archie's going to come and go, roof, roof. And you don't have a bathroom in your room. Because your sister does, because your parents liked her more. So you don't want to go in the bathroom downstairs because Archie's going to wake up. And there's no shower in that bathroom, so you can't. You don't want to turn on the water because that's a waste. It is a waste of water. You shouldn't turn on the water. Energy is important. So don't do it. You're right. I'm surprised you're up at 12:48, unless you're in California. Then it's 9:48. Still a little bit late for a 14-year-old. You probably have school tomorrow, don't you? It's Tuesday. Probably counting down the days till school. Donald, I don't think you'd get good grades. You probably are a C student. I don't think you're a D. I think you're a C. Maybe a B minus. Probably good at math. Not history, clearly. That's all I got. I'm just kidding, man. If you're young, listen, I hope you change your stuff, and I hope you become open-minded, and I hope you learn, and I hope you become something valuable with your life. Because if you listen to that guy, it's simple. All you have to do is be like one of the 3 religions he said, and then you're golden. Ant is up. Ant's up. Ant's up. All right. Well,
Hey man,
hey, buddy.
I gotta be a little bit quiet, but I just want
Archie, we don't want to wake up Archie.
I just want to clarify. I'm 19, and I haven't been debating Zionists for a while, but next time I see you, I will come and discuss with you because it's too late right now.
I understand.
Between me and you, I don't like the IRGC, but I dislike the diasporas even more. I think these people suck. But yeah,
Listen, Ant, you have school tomorrow. Go study hard, okay?
I don't have school tomorrow.
Then get in college.
No, I'm taking a gap year.
That's what they all said. Is there a way that I can bet that you don't go to college?
Sorry?
Is there a way that I could bet that you don't?
Well, I'm not going to college. I'm going to go to university.
Gotcha. Listen, Ant, statistically speaking, you're not. But a hand to God, I swear to God, I am hopeful that you do.
Statistically,
I hope you go.
what statistic points to the fact that I'm not going to university?
How many people take a gap year and actually go? But listen, I don't even want to go there. I hope you do. And I hope you study something great.
Well,
I hope
thanks,
it's not hard.
man. Art?
Yeah.
All right, man. Have a good
Get
one.
some sleep and give Archie an extra treat, okay? Okay. I've never heard someone who said that they hate diaspora. They hate Iranians who live outside of Iran more than the IRGC. That's a statement. He doesn't like Jews. No, I don't think he liked me. I'm not Jewish. Hey now, I took a year off and have a bachelor's plus 30, and I'm a teacher. Pamela, you defy statistics. And I could be wrong. I hope. Look, I'm not trying to shit on him. Darlene would yell at me. And Pamela, good for you. You're a teacher too. Good for you. Gap year's fantastic. Last tangent, because I think this is so wrong. Seriously. Why, when you're 18, your brain is literally not developed. You have to make a commitment. If you're going to go to school, you make a commitment that costs you 20 grand a year, 15, 20 grand a year. And at 18, you have to decide what you're going to study, which is going to lead you to do something for the rest of your life. And if you change your mind, let's say 2 years in, you change your mind, you're 40 grand in the hole, minimum. That's wrong. So, I don't think college should start until you're 30, right? By the time you're 30, your brain's done developing. You're kind of like, okay, I like this, I don't like this. Before you get $250,000 in student loans with no degree. I know a lot of people like that, you know? So, Pamela, I'm glad you got your degree. Oh, we run into this for people that have left Iran. That's what I think. Well, he's clarifying. He hates, I said, diasporists. I don't know. He has to get off the Alienware laptop and shut down Call of Duty to go to school. He can't do it. It's tough. It's tough. All right, my friends, I'm really out of here. Good night. Peace and love. Have a great night. Sleep well. See you all Wednesday. Thanks.
And I'm projecting just